me! You started this! Get away from me!
You don't get to put your hands on me. Oh yes, I do, Karen snapped, stepping closer, her manicured finger jabbing the air. This is my neighborhood and you will respect my authority. Gasps rippled across the cul-de-sac as Sarah steadied herself, groceries slipping from her arms. Karen stood there in broad daylight, HOA president badge clipped to her blazer like it meant federal power. Her voice was loud on purpose. She wanted witnesses. She wanted humiliation. Welcome back to Ruthless HOA Tales. If you enjoy watching power-hungry HOA tyrants finally meet their match, you're exactly where you need to be. Make sure you like and subscribe because this one gets dark. Karen had always hated Sarah. From the day we moved into Oakwood Estates, Karen made it clear we were not the right fit. She smiled with teeth, not warmth. She inspected our lawn personally. She questioned our mailbox color. She once measured the distance between our trash bin and the curb with a ruler while muttering about standards. Karen loved standards, especially when she could weaponize them. At first, it was petty. Violation notices for grass allegedly emotionally unkempt. A warning about our porch light being too warm-toned. A fine because Sarah's hospital scrubs were visible through the laundry room window. Karen called it maintaining property values. I called it obsession. Neighbors warned us quietly. Don't challenge Karen, just pay the fine. She makes life difficult. Karen thrived on that fear. She walked HOA meetings like a queen surveying subjects. Board members nodded before she even finished sentences. Security guards deferred instantly. And then came the flag incident. We mounted a small American flag by our front porch. Nothing extreme, nothing oversized. Within 24 hours, Karen taped a violation notice to our door. Unapproved display. When I confronted her politely, Karen tilted her head and said, "Rules apply to everyone, even veterans." She knew exactly what she was doing. Karen wasn't enforcing policy. Karen was testing compliance. The drive-bys started after that. Karen's SUV slowed every evening at 6:12 p.m. like clockwork. She'd stare at our house, sometimes take photos, sometimes just smile. Sarah tried kindness, waving, offering baked cookies during a block event. Save Karen refused them, publicly. This isn't the standard we promote, Karen said loudly enough for 3 neighbors to hear. Then today happened. Sarah came home from the store juggling grocery bags. Karen appeared from nowhere, clipboard already in hand. "You're in violation again," Karen declared. "For what?" Sarah asked calmly. "Improper attire in common view." Sarah blinked. "I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt." Karen stepped forward, invading space. "Your clothing is distracting. This is a family community." Distracting. That word hung in the air like poison. Sarah tried to walk around her. Karen grabbed her wrist. That's when the shouting started. That's when groceries hit the pavement. That's when Karen raised her hand and slapped my wife across the face. Neighbors froze. Phones slowly lifted. Karen realized too late she wasn't controlling the narrative anymore. Because I had been documenting Karen for months. And this time, Karen crossed from petty tyrant into criminal. Her handprint was still red on Sarah's cheek when I stepped outside. Karen turned, and for the first time since we moved in, Karen looked nervous. "You assaulted me!" Karen shrieked, pointing at Sarah's reddening cheek as if she were the victim. "Did you all see how aggressive she was? I feared for my safety." "Karen," Sarah said evenly, holding her wrist where Karen had grabbed her, "you hit me." Karen laughed. Actually laughed, like the word hit was adorable. "I corrected you. There's a difference." Neighbors stood frozen in their driveways. Phones were still up. Cameras still recording, and Karen noticed. Her expression shifted instantly. Tears, trembling voice, hand to chest. Karen was performing now. "I have to protect this community," she declared loudly. "Some people move here and think rules don't apply to them." There it was again, rules. Karen's favorite word. I stepped forward, calm but deliberate. "Let's review the rule that allows you to put your hands on my wife." Karen's eyes flicked to me, calculating. She hadn't expected an audience. She definitely hadn't expected resistance. "Your lawn has been non-compliant for weeks," Karen snapped, pivoting fast. "And your porch decor violates Section 8C. "What does that have to do with assault?" I asked. Karen ignored the question. That's how Karen operated. Deflect, inflate, accuse. Within 30 minutes, the HOA community app lit up. Karen posted first. "Regretfully, I was physically threatened while enforcing community standards today. Safety is my top priority." She didn't mention the slap. She didn't mention grabbing Sarah. She framed it as leadership under attack. Karen always wrote first. She believed the first version becomes the truth. But Karen forgot something critical. Multiple neighbors had already uploaded clips, different angles, different distances, all showing Karen stepping forward. Karen grabbing, Karen striking. The comments section shifted fast. Why did Karen lunge first? Is that a slap? Why is Karen touching her? Karen tried deleting posts. Too late. Screenshots spread. By evening, Karen escalated. A $5,000 fine for violent conduct. A formal complaint filed with the board accusing Sarah of community destabilization. A notice threatening lien placement. Karen doubled down because Karen couldn't retreat. Retreat would mean fault. And Karen does not admit fault. She scheduled an emergency HOA hearing for Friday. Mandatory attendance. She sent a mass email titled Restoring Order. That's when I knew. Karen wasn't done. Karen was about to overplay her hand. Because if Karen wanted a public hearing, she was about to get one. And unlike Karen, we had evidence. You will respect this board, Karen shouted, slamming her gavel down before the meeting had even properly started. This kind of behavior will not infect my neighborhood. Infect? I repeated from the second row. You mean defending herself after you hit her? Gasps filled the clubhouse. Karen's jaw tightened. She hadn't expected pushback that early. The HOA clubhouse was packed. Word had spread. People who hadn't attended meetings in years suddenly found time. Karen stood at the podium in a sharp red blazer, hair perfect, makeup flawless. Armor for a woman who thought presentation replaced truth. Sarah sat beside me, composed. No theatrics, no raised voice, just calm. Karen pointed toward us. These two have repeatedly violated community standards, incited unrest, and now escalated to violence against a board member. Board member. She said it like it was a federal title. You slapped her, someone muttered from the back. Karen's head snapped toward the sound. That allegation is being investigated. It's on video, another neighbor said louder. Karen's smile stiffened. Videos can be misleading. Context matters. Karen loved that word too. Context, her favorite tool for bending reality. She waved to the projection screen behind her. Before rumors spiral, let's remember who enforces order here. There it was again. Order, control, authority. But then the unexpected happened. Mrs. Alvarez, who had lived there 12 years and never once spoken at a meeting, stood up. I have footage, she said calmly. The room shifted. Karen froze. The clip played, clear, undeniable. Karen stepping forward, Karen grabbing Sarah's wrist, Karen striking first. No aggressive movement from Sarah beforehand. No threat. Just Karen. The silence afterward was suffocating. Karen laughed nervously. You're only seeing part of the situation. Play the other angle, someone said. Another neighbor had one. Different phone. Same result. Karen reaching. Karen escalating. Karen losing control. The board members exchanged looks. Not the loyal nods they usually gave her, but uneasy glances. Karen saw it, and panic flickered for the first time. She pivoted fast. This is a coordinated attack against leadership, she declared. Some of you have been resentful of enforcement for years. Enforcement. Not assault. Karen would not use that word, but the room wasn't with her anymore. The whispers were louder now. Is she allowed to touch residents? Has she done this before? Remember the mail dispute? Karen felt it slipping. Her gavel hit the table again. Harder. This meeting is about restoring order, but the word sounded weaker this time, because order built on fear collapses when fear disappears, and Karen had just lost the room. This board will not be intimidated. Karen snapped, her voice cracking for the first time. I demand a formal vote to censure these residents immediately. No, Mr. Holloway said quietly from the end of the table. We're voting on you, Karen. You could hear the air leave the room. Karen blinked like she hadn't processed the sentence. Excuse me? Another board member slid a printed document across the table. Multiple residents have filed complaints. Video evidence shows physical misconduct, abuse of authority, selective enforcement. Karen laughed, short, sharp, disbelieving. You can't remove me. I built this board. No, Mrs. Alvarez corrected gently. The community did. That hurt her more than the footage. Karen stood up abruptly, heels scraping against tile. This is political. This is retaliation. I have protected property values here for years. By slapping homeowners? Someone asked. Murmurs rippled. Karen turned toward us, fury back in full force. You orchestrated this. I didn't respond. Sarah didn't respond. That calm, the same calm that enraged Karen from the beginning, was back. The vote was called. Hands went up, one by one, not dramatic, not theatrical, just decisive, unanimous. Karen's presidency was revoked pending ethics review, enforcement powers suspended immediately, an external audit of past fines ordered, a recommendation for mediation and potential legal exposure documented in writing. Karen's face drained of color. "You'll regret this," she whispered, but the authority was gone. No one flinched, no one rushed to comfort her, no one lowered their eyes. That was the moment Karen truly lost. Not when the video played, not when the vote passed, but when the fear evaporated. Outside the clubhouse, neighbors didn't scatter like usual. They stood together, talking openly, comparing stories, comparing fines, realizing Karen had targeted more people than anyone knew. Patterns emerged, selective citations, inflated penalties, personal grudges disguised as policy. Karen had ruled through isolation. Now the isolation belonged to her. Within weeks, the fines against us were voided. A formal written apology was issued. Election notices went out for new board leadership with transparency requirements built in. Sarah went back to her evening walks without Karen's SUV crawling behind her. And Karen? Karen listed her house quietly 3 months later. No farewell speech, no dramatic exit, just a for sale sign and drawn curtains. Power without accountability always collapses under its own weight. Karen learned that the hard way. If you believe bullies eventually meet consequences, make sure you like and subscribe for more ruthless HOA tales. And tell me in the comments, did Karen get what she deserved?